emblem. Giant submarine?
Charlie Mac, you should see this.
Oh my god.
Russian.
Look at it. It's a sub.
And by no means a modern one.
It's Soviet. Oh my god.
The subject of much debate when it was found. A new variable in an already impossible equation.
It's sunk here. What happened to the crew?
They survived the crash. For a time. But there was no escape. There was only sacrifice. And pain.
Explains the bodies we saw.
But alright, so this is the air pocket. Sweet! This is kind of cool.
Still in pretty good shape, all things considered.
Guessing we can't just drive it out of here?
I don't think that would go well for anybody. No.
Okay, so there's a hatch down. Let's see what else we got up here.
A giant plate.
No, Moses. It's a satellite dish.
They were trying to contact the outside world.
It hums. I can feel it.
It is still active, yes. A modified version of the submarine's communication systems.
After all this time, it's still transmitting?
It is how the site was first discovered. By Cayne deep-sea rovers. Ironic. Only now, after no one is left to rescue, was a distress signal finally received.
This is really creepy. My dearest Anastasia, I wrote from the ocean depths with a heavy heart and a longing soul. I fear that I'll never see you again. I must pour out my heart to you in this letter, lest it burst with the weight of my love. I have seen an incredible event that has shaken me to my core. As I stood upon the deck of our Lima, my face and arms on fire, I tussled with the captain. Then the shadows came upon us. They had assailed our captain, intent on dragging him down in the watery lair. I watched in horror, and something miraculously happened. They stopped their attack instead. They took him in their loving arms and carried him away. I do not know why they spared him or what fate awaits him in this underwater kingdom, but I know I saw a glimmer of mercy in their cold eyes. I felt a strange sense of awe, and I wonder if the very fabric of the universe had been torn asunder. My love for you will burn bright until the end. Okay. Okay, we can go further. Let's go on the sub, though. If I can.
Mac, dangerous.
Yeah, Barry, you
it's a
got that
grenade.
right. Grenade rigged. It'll explode if it's opened.
They were trying to keep something out.
Well, I can't believe that's still there. Okay. Don't know if I can do anything with that.
They stayed here, but they are gone now.
Yeah, if they sunk, how long could they have survived?
With whatever supplies they had, not long.
Pretty lights.
Mac, he's right. Look. Bioluminescence.
Explains a lot.
I wrote a big report. April 82. Akula was deployed with great success. The housing for piezoelectric ceramics and magnetostrictive rare earth alloys produced the ULF underwater signal as planned. One more test. Go home. April 82. Bonya somewhere has been seen. He's hiding in a sanctuary, muttering to himself. He's not taking the lieutenant's death well. Andre, the interactable bastard, what you've left me with. The officers have gone into a spin, and the seamen are following suit. You know I'm not cut for leadership. That's not the game. That was a game for you and the captain. I've got no choice. I'll hold up the end of the line until Boyna gets back to his senses. Then we'll be square. Andrukya? Square? 2nd of April 82. Or 12th of April 82. Situation is this. 2 is not a problem. In short term, air filters weren't damaged in the fire. We might have a bit woozy now and then, but won't go out like Kamarov. Water, the recycler should last indefinitely, assuming the pumps don't give out. No use worrying about it. Food, that's our weak point. Igorovich estimated we've only got 2 days worth. Even with rationings, how did this wannabe Tolstoy let men clobber him like this? That's what we get for leaving a kid in charge of the 16th of April in 82. Gave my best. Andreyuka? I'm probably just slaughtering that. This isn't my lane. Though the menial tasks I assigned kept their minds off hunger for a couple of days, so that's something. I heard them even up in sonar, shouting and cursing each other, cursing the captain and me too. Combined with the clatter of debris hitting the Lima's hull, it's quite a symphony. Not maddening at all. 16th of April. Akula is offline and the sonar is crooked, but I knew that already. Using my own tricks on myself, now I'll make it work to ignore the gnawing pain in my stomach. Brain death might work. Turns out Kamarov was way ahead of us on that mark. Kamarov just lying in the pantry, useless, wasted, chilled. Burke's alive. This is the 17th. Burke's alive and not even surprised. If anyone was going to survive that, it would be him. More stubborn than my warts. That one. Picked the wrong pipes to tap on, though. Joker wouldn't recognize Morse code if he's tapped directly into a skull. I'll hold off on telling Kisa for now. No telling what Hothead would do. Should tell the captain, though. Might finally pull him out of his daze. Get him and poor Sergei out of his cabin. He's lucky the men aren't busy losing their own minds, or there'd be more judgment. Dre's not a fan of what we're doing. Can't say I blame him. It's too late. 18th. Something is very wrong. That's not the Boyna I knew. He had bolts of cloth peeking out from under his uniform before, most likely to keep his faith to himself. Not tonight. I would recall his religious mania if he hadn't remained so calm. Even while beating Stukov half to death, taking a bite first. Afterwards, he stood and spoke out, "We must purify ourselves, knowing what we're about." Good. 25th. 3 straight drains of bone broth is enough to make starvation appealing. Seems I'll get my wish soon enough, though. No leftover corpses now. 26th. Kisa knows he's been hanging out with Igorovich since appointed himself as chef's bodyguard. Must have heard the pipes the same as I did. Now he stormed off to confront Boyna. He's got a temper like a volcano. When I tried to stop him, he turned around and asked if our positions were reversed when Andrea stopped trying to save me. He's got a point. 28th. I found Sergei comforting. Stas has sobbed over the half-butchered Kisa yesterday. I made a joke about seasoning. He did not appreciate it. Jeez. The 30th. Well, I got what I wanted. I was more a snarl than a sob. But it was an expression of emotion that wasn't religious zealotry. My plan backfired, though. Locked himself in his cabin again. Bastard may have murdered Kiso, but he had his purifying path. There were only things holding these animals back from indiscriminately ripping each other apart. Things are about to get very ugly, and the mirror isn't exactly our friend now. May 12th. That's it. We've reached the end game. Water recycler gasped at last. Sorry, boys. No amount of carnage will get you out of this one. At least I'll get ready to die a little calm's hidey hole. I'm quite fond up there. May 6th. An unexpected law of nature defined development. We're saved. By Bonya, no less. Although it wasn't his intention, he probably was hoping he'd be greeted by some old biblical scourge when he opened the main hatch, or at least the crushing embrace of deep-sea currents. He wasn't expecting breathable air and potable water. His woeful howling was eloquent at this point. The 19th. Well, that's one mystery solved. Who doesn't take the risk never drinks champagne. During my sojourn in comms, I had a crack at fixing the transmitter. I was successful, but something was causing interference and preventing me from even attempting to send a transmission. Turns out these blue crystals sprouting up everywhere are phosphorescent, produce heat, and give me the heebie-jeebies. Just like all the other local attractions. But now I know. 24th of May. Gavorich is a savior. Savior? That I gave him credit for. He understands the deal. He's got a good heart, which worries me. I have to keep an eye on him. I found a perfect spot for the relay. There's a point at the furthest edge of our little grotto with no crystals. No crystals, no interference. Once I get it working, I'm not setting a foot in that sub again. It was hellish before, but now it's just plain creepy and it stinks of Betor. And you can hear Bonya's gibbering throughout the whole damn ship. 27th. I'm broadcasting an honest-to-God SOS. No way to know if it can penetrate the huge pile of rocks between us and the surface, but at least it's going out. Who knows? Maybe we won't die here after all. Maybe these men's last memories won't be of eating their friends. Dream big, I say. 31st. That was hard to watch, even for me. The worst part, they didn't even really want to kill poor Sergei. They were disgusted by his whimpering, and Igorovich groveling, but I saw it in their faces. They were also ashamed. So Bonya had to do it. I didn't see him approach. He asked Sergei on the altar. Or he had Sergei on the altar, and Goncharov's knife across his throat. Before anyone had a chance to move, then he was off again, leaving the men to deal with the aftermath of the inscrutable actions. Dmitry, Alexei, Krillkill have left us without goodbye. The Krillkill we've seen before, a name. June 2nd. A craven bastard. I couldn't stand it. Went to confront Boyne about a Sergei. He was just sitting there, mumbling to himself as always. He didn't acknowledge me. He didn't even know I was there. So I decided to look around and found a loose wall panel. How did I not see it? He never ate with us. Just read his interminable sermons. He had never left Lima in weeks. Was healthy enough to heave all of Sergei's weight onto the altar. Rations packed upon packs stuffed in the crawl space. Pathetic hypocrite, traitorous swine, skulking cursed thing. Get out of your misery. 3rd of June. I was about to kill him, but when I grabbed his dirty matted hair, I looked in his eyes and saw nothing. Nothing at all. Boney had been dead for a while. His body just hasn't caught up yet. I didn't tell the men about the stash. His hold on their minds is disintegrating anyway. Best spare them the pain of betrayal. 5th. Things you can do with a bit of Russian know-how, some pH paper, a few pearls, and your old friend's sodium hydroxide. An altruistic desire to get wasted. Bang, you got alcohol. Run a car on this hooch. But I don't think the men's palates are at peak performance. Let's have some fun. A few more entries. June 6th. My reputation as a cold, feckless degenerate is not completely undeserved, but there is a limit to any man's capacity for denial. It was all my fault. Pushed the captain to go deeper into the caves, ignoring Andre. Gave an idea to use Kamarov. I let Kisa charge headlong into engineering, knowing the captain had stationed a guard there. On and on and on. At least I helped provide a night of laughter and mirth for the men. That counts for something. 7th of June. Gone. Everything is, and everyone is gone. Those things, whatever they were, laid waste on the ocean-side sanatorium. Boyna's stashed rations are gone. The water is polluted with blood. Things dragged Boyna from the Lima as he screamed his head off about his last chance. No idea how they knew still in there. Farewell, Coila. Non-being is better than madness. The 11th of June. My solitude is complete. Should I have made a fewer jokes about using Stasis' corpse as furniture these past few days? Too much truth in these jokes now. It is peaceful, though, but here by the water, next to my steadfast little transmitter. I jury-rigged the busted water recycler into a passable hydroelectric turbine. I reckon it will keep the batteries going for a couple of years, maybe more. This might be the battery I need. It's a clever bit of engineering. There's hope someone else get the chance to appreciate it. Now it's time to sleep. Dead boys. Okay, so I don't want to go there yet.
Poor sailors. Poor people.
Their minds wouldn't be a part of the Nexus. It didn't exist then.
Don't take. Just gonna desiccate the graves, I guess.
Hello, I am Moses.
They were buried in their uniforms.
Charlie Mac, is it a puzzle?
Bear trap.
No, Bear. It's a booby trap. Be careful with that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't need to stick my hand in there, do I? Arm got floppier. Try it. Got a bear trap with an arm. Ooh. That's actually kind of cool looking. So, what if I give this to you? Can you break that apart? You're a big, strong man, aren't you?
Arm shot from the bear trap. But this synthetic skin is something else.
Okay. Okay. Let's go up here. I don't know what to do with the grenade yet. Already looked at the document, so they were talking about a battery, and I was getting my hoped up for that. Can always make sure it works. Yeah, so there's nothing else here, I don't think. They're just the graves. Cave in. Pots with bone. So, I don't think there's anything else we can do. I looked at this, right? Yeah. Okay. So it has to do something with a grenade, I think. Dagger with chain. Why is there a chain? Can I break the chain?
Wow. Did you really just do that?
Trick is, breaking the chain off as close to the hilt as you can.
Cool trick.
Not sure what that did for me though. No. Oh!
Got it open. I can reach the wheel now.
Smart Mac.
Depends on what's behind it.
A lot of bones, it looks like.
Another body. And
What?
I don't think it's human.
It is one of the native inhabitants of this place. And you are right. They are not human. Not anymore.
Ferran. Still with us, are you?
To the end, I think.
Troglodyte. Braiding, bones on the floor, water.
The grinding wheel dislodged. Gotta disconnect the main wheel from the milling stone. Somehow. Wood piece got jammed in the rivets.
Can you get it out?
No. Tension from the wheels got it wedged. Only way, maybe, would be to cut it.
I wonder if we can combine any of this. We don't need to combine that back. Okay, so I don't think that's gonna work. So I need to find something to cut with. So how about you then? I don't know if there's anything you can do with that grenade though. God, don't do that. Synthetic skin tastes like seaweed.
Great. Now it's got a grenade.
All right, that was a good guess.
Old air, spiders, I do not like it here. This is no place for children to play.
More than that, it is a tomb.
Okay, this is Gorovich. Elena Gorovich, I'm troubled. Comrade Captain ordered me to do a terrible thing, the act that will leave an indelible black mark upon my heart. Yet it may be the only way to stop the crew from tearing each other apart. 27 lives worth the price of my soul. Musings are mute, I dare not refuse. Gronk waits outside, listening to my pipes. I know the man is eccentric and dangerous, but what a time to inspect my plumbing. Regardless of the path ahead leads deeper into the dark, I will need you in my heart, a beacon. Zoe Stas. Lena, I have begun my work. I hate to describe it as such, but I know not what else to call it. My burden, my shame. At least I hoped Kamarov would get the last laugh. He'd always ask me to get... Globitsy? I don't know what Globitsy is. Make? I'm sure he'll enjoy forcing the men to eat boiled cabbage one last time. I thought it would just be Kamarov. I thought they were giving him dignity, creating a life in death. It only led to more death, to a hunger for it. Then the captain brought Kisa to me. He broke the seal. Gonkarov has assembled a pack. They've been taking other crew members, delivering them to me fresh. They guard me at all times, so I'm not free in my actions. The other survivors have been rounded up, tied in the next room. We have no refrigeration now. Every day, I'm sent to peel another portion of one of them. Each time, they beg me to end it. Between their sobs and screams, the knife in my hand would be a final hope if I dared not. Do not. I am weak. Being freed from the Lima has been good. For the men's sakes, they are mostly their old selves. Even the few prisoners left alive seem content to forget everything that happened mere hours ago. I don't know if I can do that. It weighs on me. I cannot sleep. The campsite is calm. Sergei freed himself from the captain's grips and remains with us now. There is no need for further violence with all the dead left from those last hellish days. Water is plentiful, but I cannot sleep. I have cured most of the meat. It will last for weeks now, as much as I can stand. Before, hunger would let me ignore my conscience, but now, as I try to state the ache in my stomach, I see their faces and hear their screams. How has Gronk remained parted from it all? He never comes for the meat. The shadows are watching us. The captain was right. There are demons here. I'll check out I'm saved. I followed Gronk. He found edible algae growing around the crystals deeper into the cave. He has agreed to share with me. I begged him to tell the crew, but he stared at me like I was a fool. To feed everyone, he would have to go deeper into the shadows. We both know that's not an option. There's something there, something more dangerous than our disturbed comrades. My love, I think this will be my last letter to you. My wounded festers. Dmitri is not the most exemplary nurse, despite his protestations. On the contrary, we buried those we could find, the sailor's grave for all. At least in the end, the ocean will be a place for the rest of them, rather than one of horror. I know you'll never see these notes. All the same, I love you, Stas.
Charlie Mac,
Oh.
the pictures, these are useful.
You're right, Mose. Those are escape suits.
If any of them are left.
You could use them to reach the surface. They would likely survive the water pressure outside.
Moses, we need those suits. Do you understand?
I will find them. I am a very smart bear now.
I will aid him in his search. While I still have time.
Hey, it's the battery.